Hello all and welcome to Wild Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on what I like to call the center section of our sweater, jumper, whatever you want to call it. To me, I find that the middle. It may not be exactly in the middle, but I like to call it the middle, yeah? Now, this section here is extremely trying, okay? I didn't weave in my ends, but just so that you know, when you get to the end of this piece, you need to weave in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, and plus the other ends of the other colors. If you were, let me flip it, to not do it this way and you were to do it row by row, you would have ends on each sides of each row. Now I found that carrying up the yarn was extremely tricky through the tutorial, okay, but it worked for me. And the carrying up only worked on the wrong side of your work. Now, right at the very beginning of the tutorial, I'm not sure if I mentioned that you start on the right side of your work. So when we head off on our own to start, I'll show you where you need to start. But you'll know the difference. This is the wrong side of your work, and your tail for your blue, the final color, would have ended up on that side. You're going to flip your work. You would have a little loop. You would have like something like that over here in your blue, and then you'll start your next colors this way. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but as you can see, you can't see the carry up on this side of your work. You can definitely see the carrying up there, and even very mildly. It's not as, you can see it more on this side, right? But on the other side of your work, the right side of your work, you don't see any carrying up. And it saves you weaving in a gazillion ends. So that's the tricky part of this tutorial. However, if you decide you don't want to carry up and you're going to weave in after every end, don't do all that carrying up that you see me do in there, which is extremely tricky. But don't stress too much, guys. If you mess it up, you only mess it up on the wrong side. So it doesn't matter if you forget to bring the yarn up and your green is sitting right down there, just pull it up and work here. But make sure everything I keep mentioning throughout the tutorial, make sure that these are fairly tight, that you are tightening up. Whenever you carry up, that you are tightening it up, yeah? And don't forget to weave in these ends. I didn't tell you to do that in the tutorial, but assuming you know you need to weave in all ends at the end of each of our crochet along tutorial. Yeah. All right, I'm not going to talk too much. Once again, it goes for a long time. So what you will need is the exact same hook you used throughout these last few rows here, these last two sections. You will need your 2 stitch markers, 1 for each side. Yes, you will. Now, this piece here, you will need 3 balls or 3 skeins, small skeins, to help you go along here, because they will be getting carried up all the way up, right? That can become a little messy, so make sure you neaten your yarn in every row. Make sure you're going like this and you're straightening up each color in every row, or you can end up in knots, yeah? So that's what you need for that patch. What I found was probably best to have, 10 grams per skein, because that's not going to be 30 grams at all. You never know, could be. But I found 10 grams per skein and I had plenty left over. So there you go. These aren't the ones, these are just the size I want you to have, 10 grams, 12 grams per skein, whatever. All right. Now, size 5 extra large, you need to do 12 rows. Everybody else needs to do 10. Now, just be wary that a 5 extra large, you need to keep carrying up after we stop. I do mention it, so there you go. I tried to separate the sizes with this. I wasn't going to, but I decided to do it because small and 3 extra large, they start and end on a different number. Okay, but don't worry about that. You'll hear about that in the tutorial. That's it. You will need your sewing needle and your scissors if you want to weave in your ends towards the end. And right at the end of the tutorial, I give you instructions on how to do the next 2 sets before we come back next week and do the shoulder openings. Yeah. All right. So good luck creating the centerpiece or the seed stitch section of your sweater. Good luck all. Alrighty guys, what you should have done right now is your ribbing, your first row of colours done and your second row of colours. Now, if you find that you're not up to this stage, I will leave links to parts 1, 2 and 3. Part 1 is actually just the gauge swatch that you need to prepare for your sweater jumper. Part 2 was actually the ribbing. Part 3 was all of this. Now we're on part 4. You will need your next row of colours, whatever they may be. I'm going to show you what mine are. Mine are pink, yeah, and this is the side I'm working on, starting from here. So that's my pink and my pumpkin spice, or orange if you like, on top of that green. And this one here is tricky. This one here is all of these colours. Now we're going to talk about that in a minute, and that's your green, your red and your pink and grey. And then right at the very end I'm using red. All right, so that's my colours. Now for those of you who have 6 squares across, you need to rearrange colours to suit. For those of you who only have 5, you can use the same colours as I'm using, yeah? Now the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is this one right here. Right there, you're going to get, making a mess already, you're going to get this look right here. And this look is called the seed stitch. There may be other names for it, but in this case, it's called the seed stitch. All right. There are many names for it, to be honest with you. So, you know, anyway, we'll talk about that another time. In the meantime, we're going to start our normal set, our very next set, which is where you would be is right here. And what I'll do, I'll take this last stitch undone so I can show you exactly where you are headed from here. You would already know how to do the colour change, but I'm going to show you anyway. You start your very last stitch, pull a loop through like normal, grab your tail, pop it at the back, grab your new colour, which is the pink or whatever colour you're using, and pull that loop through like so. Grabbing both the tails, pop them in your hand at the back, chain 1, turn your work, and half double crochet in your first stitch, or half treble for UK terminology. Grabbing your stitch marker, popping it in the stitch, if you can get it without splitting it like I just did. Pretty sure I split both sides, but anyway. And you know the rest. This part's easy. So you're going to half double all the way across until I'm going to pop this on fast until you get to your very next colour, and off we go. And there's my second last stitch, and let's get a close up right here. Oh, is that right? Yep. All right, now we're going to do the very last stitch right in there. Pop our hook in, pull a loop through, and what do? Grab the tail, pop it in the hand at the back, grab your very next colour, mine being the, I don't know what you want to call it, pumpkin spice is the name of it, or orange, whatever you want to call it. You could even call it a light brown. Pull the loop through. You know this part. You've done it with all the other colours, except now we're changing to brand new colours. And you actually know this part too. So, yarn over your hook into the stitch, the very first stitch, and off you go doing this one right here. All right, well, my yarn's all caught up already. Already, can you believe it? All right, I'm going to pop this on fast and off we go, doing the rest of our side until we get to the very next colour. Alrighty, on our second last stitch like that, and here's where we need to grab our green for the start of our seed stitch. And it depends on the colour combination that you want. I'm starting with the green, then doing the red, pink, green, red, pink, green, red, pink, green, and so on. All right, depending on how many colours, how many rows that you have. Yeah. All right, so grabbing your green. Alrighty. Now, before we start the next stitch, what do? We start our stitch with our same colour we've got, pull the loop through, drop that thread, grabbing your green, okay? And just pulling the loop through like so. Alright, so with the seed stitch, you are going to start the seed stitch with a double crochet. And a double crochet is yarn over your hook. That's a double crochet in the US terminology, or a treble in the UK. You're popping your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through. You've got your 3 loops like normal, but this time you're putting your yarn over and just pulling through 2 loops. So you pull through 2 loops only, and you have 2 loops left. Yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. That is your double crochet US terminology and treble UK terminology, all right? The next stitch is your single crochet US terminology or double crochet in the UK terminology, yeah? Pop your hook in the stitch, pulling a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. What you need to remember is your tall stitch, your small, tall, small, tall, small, all the way through. So your next stitch is your double. Pop your hook in, double US, treble UK, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, 2, 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Single in your next US, double UK. Pull a loop through, yarn over, 2. All right, so that is the pattern all the way through, just your double and your single all the way through until you get to the end of the row. All right, now small and, which one? Small and 3 extra large, yours will end differently. We'll talk about that in a minute. But everybody else should end up with a double crochet US terminology or a treble in the UK terminology. All right, I'm not going to pop this on fast because we're almost there. Plus I want you to see what I'm doing, so I'll just keep going. Single, double, single, double, and single. This is the single is where the small and the 3 extra large will end up, and a double is where everybody else will end up. Okay, but don't start your double, and the same with the single. If you ended up on a single, oh, I pulled the stitch too far. Let me take that double. I'm just going to do something for a minute. Don't anybody watch me. I'm just getting here. If you ended up with a single crochet in the US terminology, or I should say for small and 3 extra large, I want you to do this. Start your stitch like that, hold it there and pull your next colour through, which is the grey. All right, so grab the grey, everyone. I'm going to undo my my stitch here and go to the part where we will have 2 threads left. So I'll do my double and I'll do my single. All right, so everyone should be at the end of your piece. Start your double, yarn over, pull through 2. Make sure everyone has 2 loops on their hook. All right, whether you did a single crochet or a double crochet, we all need to have 2 loops on our hook. So hold your green there. We're not going to worry about carrying the yarn up yet, and we'll talk about that in the next row. Just grabbing your grey, pulling your grey through like normal. Okay. Oh, I think I haven't made that grey very long. Let's pull it through. There we go. And you are starting your very next set like normal. All right, later we're going to work with this stitch, this area, yeah? But this part, you know this part. Guys, you know this part. It's super duper easy. All right, so what I'm going to do is just pop this section here on fast until we get to our very next colour, and off we go. All right, so here we go. I got a little bit crochet happy. I was going to keep going. I'm messing around here, but I do need my very next colour, which is the red, wherever that may be. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Grab your next colour. Get ready for your next colour. I'm going to move all this out the way. It's kind of a little bit confusing. Once again, you're starting your stitch like normal. Drop it, grabbing your red and pulling your, if you're using red, yeah, pulling your thread through like so. Holding everything at the back, you know this part. This is the easy part. And off you go. We're going to pop this on fast. And what I want you to do, actually, is, you know what? Instead, what I want you to do, grab a stitch marker. I'll get one quickly. Just pop it on this stitch right here. Oh, you know what? We'll do it together. We'll do it together. It's only 2 rows. I'm going to pop this one on fast until we get to the end of the row, and off we go. All right, so once again, you are ending your row like you would any other row. Half double in your first stitch, chain your last stitch, sorry, chain 1, and you are flipping your work. Now, once again, that flipping of the work needs to be done thoroughly. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of knots. And more so in this round, I should say row, you have a lot of colour here. So you're going to have, not now, but in the next 2 rows, you're going to have threads everywhere around here. All right? All right, so let's flip the work. Do it any way you like, whatever's easiest for you. Okay? Whatever's easiest for you. I'm just going to do it this way and play with my yarn. And I'll do all that off air. Give me a moment. Good thing I did that off air, guys, because I'll tell you what, that took me forever. That took me forever because I'm not organised when it comes to doing ends. I usually am, turning things around when I'm doing graphic yarning and everything. But because I'm doing this on the channel, it's a little bit awkward with the camera and everything. So I just do it off air anyway. So yarn over the hook, too much information there. And you're doing your first half double. What are you doing? You're popping your stitch marker in there, like so. Gonna pop this on fast until we get to our very next colour, and off we go. Alrighty guys, I'm on my second last stitch. Let's get a nice close-up for this part. You guys should already know this part, but we're going to do it anyway. Did you see what I just did there? I tightened it up a little bit because it was too loose. Again, not too much, making sure that you tighten it a little tiny bit, but not too much. So yarn over your hook, you're starting your stitch like normal, pulling it through. This time, because we're working on the wrong side of our work, passing your thread forward, your yarn forward. Like that. Grabbing your new colour. Once again, you're pulling the loop through all 3 loops. And you remember what we did here? Yarn over your hook, in, under that loop, and into the stitch. Make sure you don't miss that first stitch. Pull a loop through like so. And there you go. You know the rest, guys. You've done this in 2 sets already. So off you go, finishing off this second colour, and I'll pop it on fast for you, and off we go. Alright, here we are on our second last stitch. Alright, so here we go. This is where the tricky part is. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how to do this part. I won't say quickly, you need to know. I'll take my time. Don't you like it quickly? All right, so what you're going to do, I'm just going to tighten that green up a little bit. You're going to start your grey like normal. I think I should tighten the grey up a little bit. There we go. Oh, too much. Start your grey like normal, as though you're doing a normal row, which you are. Passing your grey forward, to bring the whole thread forward. and passing your grey thread in your hand like so. Now what we want to do is we want to use our very next colour. So we want to pull the colour of the next colour through, which is the red. Okay, now it's a little bit tricky, this part, so you're holding everything, grabbing your red and pulling it through your grey like so. Just grabbing the tail end of your red and passing it forward. Now you've got a lot of ends here. But what I want you to do, this green tail we're going to carry up so that we can use it in 2 rows time. Now what we want to do for small and 3 extra large, you will have a single crochet here. So for small and 3 extra large, you need to do a double crochet. But for the rest of us, we need to do a single. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the stitch first for small and 3 extra large. So you're doing a double crochet, which is a treble in the UK terminology. Yeah? So yarn over your hook, you're going to pop the green thread under your hook. You might pay to hold it, and then into your stitch, and you're going to do a normal double crochet like so. Now that's for small and 3 extra large. All right, but for the rest of us, we need to do a single crochet. Once again, you're popping your hook under that thread and you're popping your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, so what I want you to do now, I'm a little bit off my chair here, sorry guys. You're still holding all these threads. See your green, just give it a gentle tug, not too much because you don't want to pull it. Move your green over and pretend like you're not using it, which you're not. You're going to go into the very next stitch. Now for small and 3 extra large, you need to do a single crochet here. But for everybody else, we're doing our double crochet. So into the stitch like normal, doing your double. All right, so far what you've done is you've lifted up the green and it's ready to be travelled up. It still needs to go up one more time when we do the pink, the next row. But for now, we're going to continue in our doubles and our singles all the way across. So you're putting a double on a single and a single on the double, a big stitch on the small stitch and a small stitch on the big stitch, if that helps you. All right, so there's my double, single, double, single, and so on all the way across. So the actual seed stitch itself is not difficult. It's just the carrying up of the yarn that you may find difficult. So my theory is if you don't want to carry your yarn and get all confused, because this stitch can be confusing if you forget where you ended off, then just cut your thread and you're just going to have to weave in a lot of ends. Okay, that's just my suggestion if you don't want to get all confused. Yeah, and if you're new to crochet, it doesn't matter if you've got a few extra ends, just cut them. Yeah, but for the rest of us, I like the idea of this. Yeah, so for small and 3 extra large, you need to put a double crochet here. But for the rest of us, we're putting a single. Let me just pretend that it's a small and 3 extra large. You're going to start your double like that and you're here. Yeah. For the rest of us, everything a tug, you're going to start your single, pull a loop through and you're here. So everybody should be here now. Grab your red, passing it forward. I didn't leave a very long tail here for the green. Look at that. Oh dear. I'll still manage to weave it in though. Good at that. Passing your green back and you're picking up your new yarn of your next colour. This part, you know, pop your hook under the new colour, pop it into the stitch and off you go doing your new colour. All right, so what I want you to do, I don't want you to sit here and watch me do this part because I think you know. Oh no, you know what? We'll pop it on fast. Off we go. Everyone should be around here. Start your very next stitch or your last stitch. This is where everyone should be, not just certain sizes. We should all be at the end of our piece. Pulling your loop through, under like normal, and off we go, doing our row all the way across. I'm going to pop this on fast for you, and off we go. Alrighty, here we are at the end of the row. Got one more stitch left, and have I split it? Almost. And there we go. I did manage to get it through. I might change my stitch marker to a larger one for the next row. It's driving me batty. And there we go. Chain one, and what you have now is this one right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get you to flip your work and show you what you've done. Let's not worry about all my threads for now. I'm just going to move them all out the way. I'll fix that off air in a minute. All right, but I just want to show you what you've all done. Right, now for 5 extra large, I meant for 2 extra large to 4 extra large. I'm looking at my paperwork. I do apologise, guys. Give me one moment. From 2 extra large to 4 extra large, I've left a little disclaimer in the middle somewhere. You could have put your seed stitch patch anywhere across. You have 3 sets across for you. So you could have put it, I'm sorry, let's try 6 sets. You could have put yours on the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, the 3rd. You could have put it wherever you want. And the same with 5 extra large. In fact, you probably would have benefited to put it right in the middle on your 3rd patch. But it doesn't matter. Your patches can be anywhere you want. I'm only doing 1 in this piece, but you can do many more. You can add this patch any more, as much as you like. I don't want to do any more than that because it's just a little bit too overbearing for me, but a lot of people do like that more than once on their piece. I just want to give you a bit of heads up there, yeah? But in the meantime, I want to show you what you've done. That's the look we're going for, yeah? And you actually have pulled up your green in the previous row. In this row, we're going to use the pink across. We're going to pull up the red, go across here and still pull the green up, because on the very next row you're using the green across, and the next row after that you're using the red. So you're going to keep pulling all your threads up for every row. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. I'm not even going to unwind my work. I should. No, you know what, I will. I'll unwind. So I just had to go off air a minute because I had to unravel all my work. Not unravel, but the shovel mess that I had there. Don't you love it? All right, so we're going to start with this row here. But what I want you to do actually, and I will do it together. We'll just pop it on fast and get to the middle stitch. And I'll show you the change on this side. You know the change because you've done it in every row. All right, so let's start our half double right there. Grab your stitch marker. I know I said I was going to get another one, but I'll just use this one for now. So half double in every stitch. I'm going to pop this on fast and off we go. So here we are at the end of this section here. Once again, oh, excuse me, this is not new to you. You know what you're doing. You pop your hook in, pull a loop through, grab your tail at the back, grab your tail there, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook, yarn over into your stitch, and off you go. Into the stitch, pop your hook through like normal, popping your colour over there. So right now, let's move the pink out the way. Let's move this orange out the way. So we're going to move the red out the way, but we're not going to move it far because we need to work with that red in a minute. you're going to grab your very next colour for this seed stitch, which is the pink or whatever colour you're using for your seed stitch. You might be using white, you might be using a grey, you could be using any other colour. So you're grabbing your brown like normal, and you can be careful not to touch that little green tail at the back, yeah? But with the red, you want to keep it accessible, yeah? But just grab your pink and popping your loop through like you would any other colour, yeah? And you're grabbing your pink and your orangey at the back like so. Then you're going to start your stitch, but you're going to pop your hook in the stitch. You're going to grab that red. See the red at the back? We're going to pop it over the hook and pop it in your hand as well. And do whatever stitch that you need to do. Now, everyone needs to do a double crochet here. However, I'll take that undone. Size small and 3 extra large, you're doing a single. So everyone's doing the same by putting the red over the hook. But for now, I'll show you again. So let's pretend that everyone's doing the same stitch. You're grabbing your red and you're popping it over the hook and holding it in your hand at the back. It's a little tricky, right? Pull your pink through. Very tricky, yeah? And then just complete your stitch. In size small, all you're doing is putting your yarn through. I'm sorry, let's try small and 3 extra large. Put your yarn through both the loops. But for everybody else, we're doing a double crochet, like so. And that's it. So far, that's what you have. Your red has been pulled up the top there. It's now sitting above your work, all right? On the way back later, we're going to bring that red up yet again, yeah? But for now, leaving it there. So small and 3 extra large, you're doing a double crochet, but for the rest of us, we're doing single crochet. That is it. It is a tricky section there. Whoops. Yeah, keep going, guys. You know what stitch you need to do next. If you've got a double, you're doing a single. If you've got a single, you're doing a double. Yeah. It's a little bit of a tricky stitch, I know, but believe me, it is better to carry up than have a million threads to weave in. Now, if all this is too confusing, don't carry up any yarn. Cut your thread and reattach every time you start a row for this particular colour. Colour combination, that is, yeah. I'm hoping it's all making sense for everyone. Don't forget, if you are having any issues, please don't forget to message me, or you can leave a comment in the comment section down below of this video. Yeah. When you get to your very second last stitch, all right, once again, we want to bring that green up again, okay? Now, if you are a small and 3 extra large, start your single crochet by putting your hook in the stitch like that. Grab your green and popping it over your stitch, and then pull your pink through like that, yeah? For everyone else, we're doing a double, so it's yarn over our hook, pop our hook in. Everyone needs to pop their green over the hook, like so. Pull a loop through. Now, everyone will be here except for small and 3 extra large. I want everyone except small and 3 extra large to just pull a loop through like normal. Grab that green tail now and just pop it at the back. If you want to hold all the threads at the back, you can, except the thread you're going to pull through, which is your grey. All right, so everyone should be here. Take your pink at the back as well. Grabbing your grey and pulling your grey through like normal. It may be a little bit loose for us, for everyone except small and 3 extra large. That's okay. You are doing a half double. I nearly did a single. A half double in your next stitch. Everyone's doing a half double. Everyone's doing a half double all the way across. But before you do, I'll show you what you've done. Right now, you have your green, your red is lifted up. Your red is lifted up the top there, sitting there with the pink. Your green is lifted up here, sitting there with the pink as well. It's where we want everything to be. We want everything to climb like a ladder. And now again, if you're not doing that and you're just cutting your thread, by all means, keep going. What I'm going to do is pop this on fast once again, and off we go. Okay, and here we are at the end of this colour. We've got one more stitch. Everyone's doing exactly the same. We're starting our stitch and we are completing it with the very next colour, into the very next colour, and off we go. Here we are at the end of this side as well now. I don't know what I've done here. I think I might have split the stitch. No, I've just done it really tight. It is very tight. Alright, so you are going to take this out and pop it in here first. Of course I split the stitch, didn't I? Of course I did. Twice, not even once. It's not the right stitch marker. All right, so let me show you what you've done. How gorgeous is that? This is the right side of your work. How gorgeous is that stitch? It looks better when you complete it. All right, so what we're going to do is flip our work, and I'm going to do this off air because I need to adjust mine off air, and let's all get together and flip our work. All right, that took me forever again. Wouldn't have taken you long if you were organised, but me, not so much. All right, now, once again, I'm going to pop this part on fast. We're going to first do our stitch, pop our stitch marker in there like so, and I even felt that split, and put your half doubles all the way in until you get to your very next colour, and off we go. Here we go, guys. Thought that yarn wasn't too much of a distraction there. All right, so now we're working on the wrong side of our work again. So you are passing your tail forward. Grab your whole piece of yarn and pass it forward. Be a lot easier later. Yep. And then you're just starting your very next colour. Like so. You know how to do that. You've been doing it all along, yeah? All right, I'm going to pop this on fast and off we go. Alrighty guys, where we are is here. Now once again, we're going to be doing some carrying of yarn, but not just carrying of yarn, pulling through the very next colour. Now we worked like this. Let's bring that red down so it's out of the way. We worked green, red, pink. Now we're going green, red, pink. Green, red, pink. So your job now is to start with your green, but you also want to bring up the pink for the very next, not next row, the row after that. All right, so let's all start. Now, everyone is on single crochet for that stitch, except for small and 3 extra large, you need to do a double crochet in that stitch, yeah? But for everyone in general, we're all doing starting our half double like so. Grabbing our grey and passing it forward and holding it in place. This is the tricky part now, holding it in place. Just leave your pink forward for a minute. Now you did this before with the other colour, all right? We're going to do it again. You're going to pull your green through like so. We'll do small and extra large first so they know what they're doing. So yarn over your hook, you're popping it under that loop, under the pink and into the stitch, and pull your loop through everything, and then you do your double crochet or your treble, yeah? But for everyone else, we're going to do the same, but we're doing it with a single crochet. So pop your hook under that loop, under the pink, into the stitch, pull a loop through all of it like so, and then complete your stitch. All right, grabbing your pink just to give it a gentle tug, passing it forward so it's not annoying you, and do your very next stitch. Now, everyone has to do a double here except small and 3 extra large. You guys do a single, but everybody else, you do your double. And now all your threads have sorted themselves out here. Do whatever stitch you need to do next, and finishing off your side with your single, double, single, double, single, double all the way through. And I nearly did a double on a double. We're not going to pop this on fast because this is the part where we're going to work together with, so we may as well leave it here. So I hope I haven't confused you all with the sizes, because small and 3 extra large are on the opposite than what we are, okay? Because they have even stitches across where we all have odd. Okay, nearly there. All right, so everybody should be on their second last stitch, sorry. Now, if all this is too confusing, guys, just remember you can cut your thread and just add a new thread at the beginning of each row, yeah? For small and 3 extra large, you should be starting your double crochet here. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook in that stitch. But before you do, you're going to pop your hook under the red, put it in the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, passing your red at the back and your green at the back and your pink at the back. There's a lot of passing, or it's actually forward really. Grabbing your brown and pulling it through, your orange, yarn over into your stitch with your half double, okay? But for everyone else, let me finish off that last double because that got all loose on me. I don't know why. Let's try that again. Everyone else should be on a single stitch. So what I want you to do is pop your hook, your red yarn over your hook into the stitch, holding that red yarn down, pull the green through, and now what you have is that red tail. You're going to pass it forward, pass your pink forward, and pass your green forward. So you're holding everything in your hand, bringing up your orange or brown, pulling that loop through, yarn over your hook, under the loop, into the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and off you go, completing your side. Now, I know it was a little tricky to do that, yeah? It's a little tricky to do that, but look at this. You're going to have no tails until you get up to the top, and then you'll be weaving each thread in at the end of the piece, yeah? And it's a lot better than having a thread here, thread there, thread here, thread there, thread here, thread there. Every now and then give everything a gentle tug, just a gentle tug, just to make sure everything tightens up. You don't want all this to be loose. Remember, this is not going to show in the front, yeah? It's not going to be noticeable. You might see that little bit there, right? But once you complete your piece, that's not going to be noticeable. All right, so what I want everyone to do, I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me do this over and over again. So I want everyone, I'm going to pop a stitch marker here, and I want you all to do the same. Pop a stitch marker here in this stitch, complete your side, come back to this stitch marker, and we'll do this section together. So let's all do that now, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. Alrighty guys, here we are, right near that stitch marker, which means you should all be right near your seed stitch patch, yeah? I'm going to finish off that second last stitch. And once again, we're going to start our last stitch. This is where everyone should be, all sizes. Pop your orange tail in your finger at the back. Now you're going to leave the green there just for a minute. You're going to grab your red. In fact, bring the green forward. That might help you. Grab your red and everyone pull your red through like so, because we're using our red here, okay? Now for small and 3 extra large, you need to do a single crochet here. So you need to pop your hook in, grab that green over your work and start your single crochet and just complete it. Pop that green at the back and do your double there. All right, so that's small and 3 extra large. But for everybody else, this is what we're doing. Bring your green forward for a minute, but you can just leave it there for now. You're going to start your double crochet. Grab that green, popping it over your hook like so. Pull your loop through and doing your double crochet like normal. Pop your green at the back again and then just doing your single crochet. All right, so everyone, all sizes, do their single crochet, double crochet, or double crochet, single crochet, all the way through until you get to the end of this piece. Now I'm going to rush it. I'm not going to put it on fast. I'm just going to rush it. Knowing my luck, something will go wrong. Usually when I say I'm going to rush it, things go wrong. Like I just did a half double by mistake. Yeah. Okay, so do whatever stitch you're supposed to be doing in whatever stitch you come to. Yep. We're going to do the same with the pink at the end of this row, because our very next colour will be the pink. All right. All right, so everyone should be a stitch off their final stitch. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too far away for you before, guys. But anyway, so small and 3 extra large, you are doing a single crochet. So pop your hook in the stitch, grab the pink and pop it over your hook, pull your red through like normal and taking everything at the back waiting for us there. All right, for the rest of us, we're going to do a double in that stitch. Yarn over our hook, into the stitch like so, and then grab your pink, popping it over, pulling a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now this is where everybody should be with 2 loops on your hook. Grab all your threads and pop them at the back of your hand there, grabbing your new colour, pulling it through and doing your half doubles in every stitch across like so. Now you know how to do this part. All right, so let me show you what you've done. Once again, you have raised up your green, you have raised up your pink, getting it ready for the next round, because I should say row, sorry. We're going to turn, come back this way and use our pink, but bringing up our red, going across here, using our green for the next row. Anyway, let's talk about that when we get to the next row. What I want you to do once again, popping your stitch marker in, I don't know, second last stitch there, yeah? Do that side there, turn, come back to that stitch marker and I'll meet you there and we'll do our very next set. Alrighty, here we are at the end of this section here, and I've left my stitch marker open on purpose so that I can just take that out. And we are at the stitch marker, so what I want you to do is complete your second last stitch, yeah? And you're into the very last stitch. You start your stitch like normal, passing your grey forward. Now this is for small and 3 extra large. I want you to grab your pink, and you guys are doing a double crochet. So grab your pink over your hook, pulling your loop through all 3 stitches first, yarn over your hook, under your pink, pop the red over your hook, go into the stitch, pull your pink through. You've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, pass that red over, make sure it's out of the way, into your next stitch with your single crochet. Now that is for size small and size 3 extra large, but for the rest of us, we are all doing this. You are starting your half double like normal. Oops, nearly completed it. Pass your thread forward, grabbing your pink, because we are working with the pink in this row. Yeah, so you're grabbing your pink, but you are moving your red up as well. But grab your pink and pull the loop through first. And we're doing a single crochet. So we are popping our hook under the pink, pop your red over the hook, and then pop your hook into the stitch. Pull the pink through all of that area. Yep. Yarn over your hook and pull through the last two, grabbing the red and just doing your double crochet into your very next stitch, making sure you're not going over your red tail there, like so. So where it should be, everyone should have their grey thread here and their red dangling there, because we're going to pass that red up in the next row. All right, I'm hoping that passing of all the tails up is making sense. And every now and then just give everything a gentle tug, making sure, and I didn't mention this before, I'm going to pop a little disclaimer up as well, that you are counting every set you're doing. Yeah, I popped a disclaimer up earlier, or I'm going to, but make sure you are counting every set. In the meantime, do your stitches across, whether that's the double and the single or the single in the double, and do that all the way across. And I really love this stitch. This is probably one reason why I won't do it as a blanket form, for the simple fact that we're doing a lot of carrying. But we may in the future do this particular pattern as a vest, or as some sort of top in the future. So keep that in mind. But for now, it is a tricky way of doing things. Again, you could have cut in every row and just added. It's entirely up to you, really, what you want to do with yours. Okay, we're on our very last stitch. Now, if you are 3 extra large and small, you guys are going to do a double crochet. So yarn over your hook. You're going to pop your hook in the stitch, but you're going to pop your hook under the green into the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2. Just popping your green out the way and your pink out the way, grabbing your brown, pull the loop through, orange, yarn over your hook, under your orange, into your very next stitch with your half double crochet. Just make sure you give everything a tug and it doesn't get too loose there, yeah? The green, the pink and everything should be tugged, all right? That's if you are a small or a 3 extra large. But for the rest of us, we're doing a single. We're popping our yarn, our hook under the green, into the stitch and doing your single. Passing your pink forward, passing your green forward, grabbing your orange or brown, pull the loop through, yarn over your hook, under your little orangey, brown, whatever it is, into the stitch and doing your normal join as you would in every other row. Okay, so it's a little tricky. Yeah, it's a little tricky. See how it's loosened up a bit? Just give it a gentle tug, and you will be able to tug it a little bit later when you're carrying your yarn up. Now, if you want to, you can actually start to weave in these two ends. If everything's correct, you can weave in the pink, the green and the red here. And when we're finished this set, you can weave in those ends up the top. So that way you're not weaving them in every row. Again, if it's all too confusing and it's loose and sticking out and everything, take it undone and just cut across each thread and just keep adding a new thread in every row. All right, so your job once again, head off on your own and complete all of that all the way back over here, and wait for me there and get ready for some new instructions. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this section here. I have to do a second last stitch right there. And my last stitch is there. We're going to start it, pull a loop through, pop that thread in the back of my hand. This pink is the one last carry up. So just leave it there for the moment. We're doing small and 3 extra large at the moment, and you guys need to do a single crochet. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is leave your pink forward. Just grab your green and pull that loop through like so. All right. Pop your hook into the stitch. Make sure your pink is over your work, and you're doing a single crochet like so. Just grabbing that little pink and popping it down the back now. You don't need it anymore, just leave it there for the next carry up. Now you're going to do your double crochet in your very next stitch and your single in your next, and your thread is carried up. All right. For the rest of us, we need to do a double for our first stitch. Okay, so yarn over your hook, into the stitch, pull a loop through. You're doing your 3 like normal. Remember, that's still a half double in that space, but now with the green we're going to do a double. Grab your loop and pull it through all 3 loops on your hook like so. Yarn over your hook, get ready to do your double, but remember, you're going to pop your hook in, making sure your pink is passed over your work. Pull the loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, drop the pink at the back, single into your next. Now everybody needs to do their double, single all the way across, whichever one that was for you. Yeah, and just get to the end of that section like normal. All right, so small and 3 extra large. Let's move everything out the way so I don't get confused. You're doing a single crochet here. So you pop your hook in, you grab that red and you pop it over your hook. Whoops, like that. Pull the loop through like that. Now you grab the green at the back, you grab the red at the back, you grab your grey, and you're pulling your loop through like that, doing your normal half double crochet across your piece. But for us, the rest of us, we are doing a double crochet, and we're pretty much doing the same thing. We're just doing our normal double. Yarn over our hook, pop our hook into the stitch, popping your red over, remember? Yep. Pulling a loop through like so. I'm just going to move, I'll keep moving this, but it keeps going forward. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, pop your red down there and your green at the back, grabbing your grey and pulling it through the last 2 stitches. And then you're doing your half double crochet. Now it's all a tad tricky. Again, I keep saying it. If you wanted to cut, you could have cut. All right. So your job, what are you doing? Once again, you are completing these 2 right here. Meet me right back here and we'll do our very final carry up in this section. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row, and guess what? I told a lie. We are still bringing the yarn up. Just one more row. One more row. It's the last one, trust me. They're saying, are you sure? No. All right, so yarn, no, I am sure. Yarn over your hook, pop your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through, passing your thread forward like we would in every odd row. Yeah. Now, okay, what we have here, we're doing small and 3 extra large first. You guys need to do a double crochet. So you are bringing your red up for a minute and pulling a loop through your threads. Then, what do we say? Double, yeah. Yarn over your hook. You're going under the red, under the green thread that's hanging into the stitch. Pull a loop through all of the stitches, all the threads I should say, and then just do your double crochet. And then you leave all your tails out the way and do your single in your next stitch. That was for small and 3 extra large. But for the rest of us, this is what we're going to do. Start your half double like you would any other row, passing your grey forward, picking up your red, pulling the loop through like so. We are doing a single crochet, but we're going under the red, under the green thread, or you can pop the green thread over, whichever suits you, and into your stitch. It's a very tricky stitch, yeah? Pull a loop through all of it. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, make sure all your threads are down, and you need to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Now, no matter where you are, a single in your double, double in your single, and off we go, all sizes doing the stitch that's appropriate for you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. I've got my 17th there. I'm not sure what your count is, but I just counted for mine. Now we're going to pop a single crochet in that last stitch. I'm sorry, 3 extra large. You're going to pop a double crochet in the large stitch. So yarn over your hook, under your pink, into your green, pull your loop through like so, yarn over, pull through 2. Now passing your red, notice how I tighten the pink up a little bit, passing your pink, grabbing your orange and pulling it through there. If it comes a little loose like that, just tighten it up a little bit. Pop your hook under your orange, into the stitch and complete. Oops, I did a single there, sorry. Pop your yarn over your hook, under your loop, into your stitch and complete your half double. Remember, it's a half double, not a single, Mary, a half double. All right, so you continue to go across. For the rest of us, if I can get it out. We did a double there, so we need to do a single. So all you need to do is pop your hook under the pink, pop your hook in the green, start your single, pass your pink forward, your red forward, grabbing your orange, pulling the loop through. If you find it a little bit loose, just tighten everything up. Yarn over your hook and you're going to do your half double like normal. And once again, if a lot of that is loose, just tighten it up. All right, I don't need to show you the rest, you know the rest, yeah? All right, so now what I want you to do is continue along there, come back to here and get ready for the next row. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this set. Once again, we're going to start with small and 3 extra large. Sorry about the dark now, guys. It's overcast and it's starting to rain, so it's getting very dark in here. All right, you're going to start your stitch like normal. Pop your thread in the back. We're going to use the pink for this section. So we've gone green, red, pink, green, red, pink, green, red, and pink. But this time, we're not carrying up our red because we won't be using the red anymore. Except 5 extra large, you will need to carry your red up, all right? But for the rest of us, all I want you guys to do right now is to pull the loop through like normal, as though you're changing your colors. So now for small and 3 extra large, you need to do a single crochet in there. So you just pop your single in. This is an easy row for you guys. And then you do your double in your next, like that. That's small and 3 extra large. But for the rest of us, start it, pop it over there. Everybody just give everything a bit of a tug, your red, whatever colors you have. So everyone needs to grab their pink, wherever that may be. I'm going to drop the red in my hand at the back too. And just grab the pink, pulling the thread through like so. Single crochet into our first, double crochet into our first. Don't you love it? Single into the next. You don't need to carry up any threads if you are all sizes except 5 extra large. 5 extra large, you are still carrying up your threads. Everybody else, we're just going along like normal. All right. All right, so grabbing your pink at the back. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Hello, not yet. We still have another stitch there. See that tight stitch right there? I almost forgot. I need to pop a double crochet. See, it's easy to miss a stitch. A double crochet in there. We'll do small and 3 extra large. You're just doing your single like normal, but you are carrying up your green because we need the green in the next row. Pull a loop through like so. Dropping your green at the back, your pink, everything except your grey. You need your grey. I nearly put the grey at the back. Dropping everything at the back, grabbing your grey and pulling the loop through. Yarn over, doing your half double crochets across, yeah? For 5 extra large, actually 5 extra large, just do your double crochet. No, we'll do it together. We'll do it together, come on. 5 extra large, you're doing a double crochet there, grabbing your green, popping it over the hook, pull your pink through like normal, do your double like that, pass the green at the back, and dropping your pink at the back as well, grabbing your grey and pulling your loop through, and then continuing along, yeah? For everybody else, yarn over your hook in the stitch, grab your green, pop it over your hook, pull the loop through, oops, grab that green and pass it at the back. Oh no, we're doing a double crochet, aren't we? Start your double crochet, like so, pull it through 2 loops. Now pull everything at the back, grabbing your grey, pulling the loop through, yarn over your hook, and half double crochet. It is very tricky. I did mention to everyone that was going to be tricky in our lives, but again, you could have just cut and weaved. All right, so that's that. Continue along the way, come back, meet me back here, and get ready for your last row. That's for all sizes except 5 extra large. You need to do another 3 rows after this one here. All right, but for the rest of us, we're going back right over here and we're going to complete our last row. Alrighty guys, here we are at the kind of end of the section. The next part you need to do is to bring up your green. 5 extra large, you have another 2 rows to go after this one. So you'll need your green, your pink and your red attached still. But for the rest of us, we can start cutting some of our threads. Let's consider where we're going to cut. We're going to cut our green. No, we're not going to cut our green, sorry. We're going to cut our pink, except if you're 5 extra large, you leave your pink. But for the rest of us, cut your pink, get it out the way so you don't get confused. Go over here and grab your red, cut your red. 5 extra large, you don't cut. But for the rest of us, we're cutting. Remove all threads. It just helps you see what you're doing, yeah? So now all you're working with is the green. And then we're going to flip our work later and change to a new set of colours anyway, all right? So this is one reason why I've only done one set of this, because this was a lot of work, yeah? All right, so small and 3 extra large. Let's move everything out of the way. Oh, by the way, I ran out of yarn with the last bit. See right there, a bit of yarn chicken. Look right there, right on the last row. Don't you love it? All right, too much information. Anyway, for small and 3 extra large, start your half double. Yeah, you're going to pick up your green, pull your loop through. You don't have to carry anything unless you're 5 extra large carrying up your pink. You know how to do it now. You've been doing it all along. But for small and 3 extra large, pop, what are we doing? You're doing a double. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook underneath, pop your hook into the pink, pull a loop through all of it, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and then you do your single crochet like normal. Yeah, but for the rest of us, now remember 5 extra large, you are carrying up your yarns still. All right, for the rest of us, we are just doing this. Yarn over, pull through, pop your hook under into the stitch. We're doing a single crochet only. That's everyone else. That's not small and 3 extra large. Yeah, and that's it. And you know the rest of the stitches, you've been doing them all along. All right, small and 3 extra large, you need to do a single crochet here. So start your single, pull your loop through, passing your green forward, picking up your brown or orange, and then just, whoops, yarn over your hook, just doing your half double crochet like normal, all the way across, yeah? But for the rest of us, remember 5 extra large, you are still carrying up your yarn, yeah? For the rest of us, we're doing single crochet in that stitch, like so. Pass your thread forward, grab your orange, pull the loop through. Actually, I'm going to do it again because my yarn split. Oh, let's try that again. Let me finish off that double. All right, start your single, pass it forward, pull your your orange through, yarn over your hook, into the loop, into the stitch, half double. All right, and everybody knows what they're doing here. We're all doing the same thing over and over again there. All right, so this is where we are at the moment. 5 extra large, you need to do, that's 10th row, 11, 12. You need to do 2 more rows. For the rest of us, we are all here. I want everyone to finish that row that they're on. Finish that row across there. I'm not going to because I just want to explain to you what we all need to do. Now I've made a mess with my yarn. Well, first thing I'm going to do is pop a stitch marker in this little brown because I've already taken 1 stitch undone. Oh, and I just pulled the other one undone. Hello. Pop a stitch marker in your piece so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Grab your other piece that you don't have. I have. I'm going to grab the other piece. You don't have this one. I do. Now, this is actually different to what you see here, only because I did it different to begin with. I'm not going to worry too much about it because I want mine to be like this and I want yours to be like this because this would have been too difficult to explain. Now, if you think this was difficult to explain, imagine trying to do that. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that. I just want to show you where you are on your piece so that you can continue literally without sitting here watching me do it. This is where you are. There's your red, there's your grey, there's your colour combination one, there's your brown, and there's your pink. All right, your very next colours. Now watch carefully. I'm going to see if I can bring this up a little bit, the camera. I'm going to move the frame and just bring it up a little bit so that you can see what's going on. All right, so your very next colours are, I hope I can hold it properly. On top of your pink, you're putting a grey. On top of your orange, you're putting brown. On top of the mixed colour, you're putting blue. On top of the grey, you're putting pink. On top of the red, you're putting orange. Then you're going to do another set across. on top of the grey, red, brown, pink, blue, orange, pink, brown, orange, green. Now I'm going to leave this picture at the end of this tutorial as well, nice and neat, not as messy as this for you. And you guys can actually go ahead, and I'm going to pause it for a second, only because I wanted to put it back on the stand, and you guys can go ahead and do your next 2 colours without me. What? They're saying no way. Yes way. You can do the rest. The rest is easy. You are doing exactly here what you did in part 3 of our tutorial. Yeah? So this is part 4, which was this set only, which took forever. Don't you love it? Now you're doing all of this to here, all sizes. Yeah? Before we start closing up for our shoulder seam, yeah, or our shoulder area. Everyone needs to do these 2 sets. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a photo of this and place it at the end of this tutorial. And all I want you to do is finish off this row and then start your new colour all the way across here. Do your 10 rows or 12 rows for 5 extra large, then do the next set. All right, that is all I want you to do. Now, while we're here and on the conversation of colour combinations, that is the right side of your work. And I just dropped the scissors. Excuse me, everyone's saying, excuse me, you're so noisy. All right, so don't worry about this. I've got threads everywhere for this one, so you don't worry about that. So that's the wrong side of your work, yeah? That's the right side of the other side of your piece that you're going to do eventually, yeah? And that's my wrong side. So I wanted to explain to everyone the other day, I mentioned that if you wanted to start your next side, you could, because we're doing exactly the same for both sides, yeah? But the thing here is, I wanted to explain that when we first started our piece, we went across this way and we did a red, yeah? And we went across and did our squares. When you have, that's the right side of your piece. When you do the second one, you're doing it exactly the same, but it flips. So when you put them both together, they're opposite the other side. So it looks different on both sides of your work. So if someone was to see you standing there in the front of your side or in the other side of your side, then it will look a little different for each side. Oh, it's all stretched here. Hello. It gets stretchy after a while. This will stretch, guys. It's all tight because I've been, pulling real tight, but this will stretch a little bit, yeah? Because that's what happens with crochet. It does stretch a little bit. All right, so I just wanted to show you that they will be the opposite to each other. It's going to be gorgeous. They will be totally opposite to each other. Your red will be matching your brown, your blue, your pink, your red, and so on. All right, you don't need to know that now. I just wanted to explain it to you. So you didn't have to if you don't want to. Oh, what a mess I'm making here. If you don't, I just dropped all the yarn, and I'm going to drop this one too because they're all stuck underneath the other piece. But you didn't see that, and you don't know that's happening, right? If you didn't want to change the other side to make different colours, you can use this colour combination for both sides of your jumper, sweater, if you will. All right, so I'm going to leave the colour combination look at the end of this tutorial, and that gives you the chance to see the colours, and you can head off on your own and do 2 more sets, 1 colour set and then another colour set. Meet me back here in a week's time and we will start closing up for shoulder seams. All right, I'm sorry this went a long time, guys, but thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and don't forget we have our lives at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, Melbourne, Australia time. Head off and do your coloured squares. Don't forget 5 extra large, you need to do another 2 more rows than this, and then start doing your next set of squares, and I will meet everyone back here next week sometime. I don't know the exact day, where we will continue with part, what are we up to? We've done 5 part 5 of our tutorial. Thanks for watching and ciao for now.